Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we are going to talk about the country in the mirror, because people in the United States and Western countries in general, but particularly the United States, they need to get ready to look into that mirror and be prepared for the fact that they are not going to like what they see, because we are going to have that mirror held up to us. See, for a long time, the U.S. and its Western allies, really the only countries capable of projecting force, of really using muscle to influence world affairs. See, that's changing. Things are shifting, and you have other countries capable of doing it and doing it. And now that it's another country, we're seeing things and we don't like it. But if you were to kind of hold a mirror up to it, what would you see? Like right now, the whole country is just enamored with the story of Hassan, an 11-year-old boy who fled the violence by himself, had nothing but a plastic bag and a phone number scribbled on his hand. And he traveled hundreds of miles by himself with a group of people he didn't know, by himself, without his family. He was with people he didn't know, though. He gets to the border of Slovakia, and what happens? He's given water, and people are like, hey, let's call this number. Find your people. So what happens there? What happened here? A young boy travels hundreds of miles by himself with a group of people he doesn't know. Let's call it a caravan. Has a number scribbled on his hand. He gets to this border. What happens? We break out those little baby handcuffs, throw him in a cage, and wash that number off, make sure he can't find his family. It's what we do. It's what we've done. And I know somebody's going to say, well, that's different. Refugee and migrant. Yeah, you can hear that rhetoric in some countries in Europe. Hungary, there's a guy named Orban who's saying that exact thing. Refugees can get all the help they want, but they're going to stop those migrants. Given that he is a right-wing, nationalistic, racist person who often gets championed on Fox, I'm willing to bet it's pretty easy for them to determine who is who. And it has to do with their shade. We're going to see our own actions, and we're not going to like them. And it doesn't stop there. From people talking about the civilian casualties that Russia is inflicting. Yeah. Ever look at the numbers from Afghanistan and Iraq? They're not small. Then you can look to American media just being beside itself that Russians are adorning themselves with the letter Z to show support. I don't know how that's much different than the yellow ribbon that was on everybody's car in the early 2000s. It's not that different. Even on this channel, I said I didn't like the average Russians getting hit by these sanctions the way they're going to. People are like, no, that's how it should be. Yeah, if that had happened to us, we'd still be recovering from 2003. We are not going to like what we see, if we're honest. And that's okay. Because the reality is, we haven't been leading. Not in a way to make the world better. We've been profiting. That's not the same as leading. And we can see it. We'll be able to see it because Russia and China are going to start making moves that are going to reflect stuff that we've done, and we're not going to like it. And that's okay. Because it gives us a baseline. These things are wrong. If something is wrong, it is wrong. If something is right and good and true, it is. We're going to be able to see it. And then we should be able to correct our own path. and acknowledge that we haven't been leading. We've been profiting, and that's all that we've been focused on. We haven't been guiding the world to a better place, but we could if we wanted to. We're going to have examples of our behavior thrown right back at us. And we're going to have it for a few years. And the longer we put off acknowledging it, the longer we put off changing course, the longer it's going to happen, the more uncomfortable it's going to get. So, from the American standpoint, from the Western standpoint, while this is happening, as we start talking about all of the different things going on, it's okay to be uncomfortable. We haven't been doing what we should as nations, as a society. But we can fix it. Because there are going to be topics coming up that are going to make people uncomfortable. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.